Welcome, everybody. It's wonderful to see you all for this very, very special occasion when we are launching one of our first projects from the Hive Cooperation Circle, which is eco-harmony and the living environment. And we've been paying a lot of attention on the Green Hub, and we're trying to develop the Green Hub now and working with global teachers, law society, which is also a partner of URI Netherlands. This is a project which is including many different partners, and I hope that you'll all enjoy having a time together and celebrating not just the launch of Greening Taraba, but also to celebrate International Day of Peace. And on that note, I would like to begin with a moment of contemplation. Let's remember today the International Day of Peace, but it is also autumn equinox in the Northern Hemisphere, spring equinox in the Southern Hemisphere. But today I'm concentrating on the Northern Hemisphere and autumn equinox. So here behind me is a field not far from where I live. So please look at my background and close your eyes or just gaze at the background. On this sacred turning of the year, when day and night stand equal, we welcome balance into our lives. Between the rising and the setting sun, we stand in the still point of balance. Day and night embrace as equals, light and shadow entwined in harmony. Oh, turning wheel, bless us with the gift of equilibrium, as roots sink deep and branches reach high. Teach us to hold both earth and sky within our hearts. Where there is striving, grant us rest. Where there is stillness, awaken new growth. In sorrow, plant the seed of joy. In joy, let compassion flow. Spirit of balance, walk with us now, that we may walk gently with the world. Blessed equinox, blessed be. Thank you. So the moment has come, Dofa, when I would really love to introduce your initiative. It was originally your initiative, Greening Taraba. But first of all, I'd like to introduce Dofa. He's just recently joined URI as an intern for the multi-region, and it's partly because, will you please tell us a little bit more about how this project came to be, and a little bit about your experiences also with the partners, and where did your initiative come from?
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. As Morgana said earlier, my name is Dofa Francis, and I'm from the northern part of Nigeria, Taraba State to be precise. And as we mark the International Day of Peace today, I want to remind us in a few notes that having a peaceful state doesn't mean a state that is free of war alone, but also a state that has justice and equity for all. I think we should have this at the back of our mind before we continue with the Greening Taraba project. So this project Greening Taraba came into inception because looking at we were able to sit down with my team and my colleagues, and we looked at the problem that we now face currently at the northern part of Nigeria, which is the problem of deforestation, where you can see lands being dried, where you can see absence of water due to absence of trees. So this was this was where the Greening Taraba project was incepted. This was where we sat down to think about, okay, how can we bring an end to this particular problem of deforestation in our state. And we are using our own state and our locality as a case study for this particular project. So this is me, Dofa Francis. I'm a community organizer and advocate for peace. And I also have a background in electrical and electronics engineering. And also, I have an experience with grassroots mobilization and interfaith collaboration from the grassroots level, which Soraya MD over here, my my strong mentor. She has helped me through most of the grassroots interfaith works which I've done. Next slide, please. So this initiative is more than just an event. It is a movement towards sustainable living, environmental stewardship, and collective global responsibility. By bringing communities together, Greening Taraba celebration highlight the importance of reforestation, climate awareness, and the role of local and global citizens in nurturing our planet for generations to come. Now, we are not only planting trees, we are also bringing in key um, key influencers of the community, which are our religious leaders. Now, for Nigeria and Taraba State as my state as a whole, we have two major religions which we practice over here, which is the Christian and the Muslim religion. Now, through this project, we are going to bring in these two key major religions into play, where these two religious leaders, we are currently in contact with our Christian leader and also our Muslim leader in my own community. So we are going to bring them together to work on this project. We'll plant trees not just in schools alone, but also in mosques and also in churches. That alone is also bringing up peace from the grassroots level. Next slide.
It's an opportunity for all of you to perhaps ask questions. Has anybody got any questions? Atom, can you see if there are any questions? Oh, Catherine. Catherine's got a question. So go ahead, Catherine.
Thank you. Dofa, during the reforestation project, how are the trees being chosen? I ask this because for many years I lived in the San Francisco Bay Area, and a lot of the trees in the Oakland Hills got cut down to build houses. And unfortunately, what they planted to replace them were eucalyptus trees,
Ugh.
which are beautiful trees and they smell lovely and they grow very fast, but they're not good for housing material and they burn quickly and have caused a number of the fires that happen in Oakland to become I'm trying to find the right word. I'll just use simple words. They become very bad and very dangerous. So I just wanted to know about the trees that are being chosen and
Yeah,
how they're being chosen.
that's a good question. So Dofa, how do you choose the
Yeah.
trees?
Yeah, okay. Thank you very much for that beautiful question. Now, just a quick response to that. We choose these trees based on the nature of the environment we live in. Now, the type of trees we are going on for this particular project are medicinal and fruit trees, trees that produce fruits and also trees that are meant for medicine. So these are the two major
Mm.
categories of trees we are going on for this particular project.
Are they trees that would have been natural in that environment? I think
Okay.
that's the big question.
Are they trees that,
That would have been found in that environment before the deforestation.
okay, yeah, most of the trees we are planting are trees that are found in homes. There are trees that
Okay.
can be grown in homes, and also in places of worship. That is example of some of those trees we are planting. We are planting example of mango trees, guava trees, cashew trees. Now that are not only they don't only provide shade also, but they provide also fruits that people can also tap from it. Since it's in a learning environment, so it's it's going to do well to the school, the children, and the community at large. So that's why we are going for fruits.
Mhm.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Atom, is there anybody else who's posted a question in the chat?
And no, not that I know of. That was so far Catherine and Dofa.
Hang on, I'm just having a quick check. My major question. Oh yeah, Dofa Francis. So it's one of your friends, Dofa. Can you ask them to? Yes. Would you like to just introduce yourself first, please?
Morgana, I have also a question. This is Lamek.
Oh, Lamek. Oh, how nice to see you. Lovely, lovely to see you. So you had a question.
All right. Thank you so much, Dofa, for the good work that you're doing, and thank you, Morgana, for organizing this meeting. Yeah, I have three questions. One is one is I want to learn from Dofa for the good job that you're doing. What are the successes that you're experiencing in the work that you're doing? The second question relates to the challenges. What challenges that you're experiencing that we can learn from you again? Finally, you have said about the trees that you are promoting, uh, fruit trees. I wanted to know if when thinking about these trees to plant, you are also thinking about the economic value that the participants can benefit from the trees that are being planted. Otherwise, a good job that you're doing. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much. I think a quick response to that for the work I do, I think for me to explain both my successes and the challenges I face, I think possibly we will need more like a one-on-one you so that I'll explain to you everything because you're more like okay, you want to learn from everything I do and things like that. But I'm inspired by not just the successes I record, but the part of the inspiration I get is anytime I do anything and I see smile on the faces of people that benefit from anything I do. Now, there was a picture I shared earlier from this slide. This was a project we did together with few of my colleagues, of which I know some of them are here, Khadija, um, John, and most of my colleagues they are here on the call. We executed that project in a school where we donated books to children. Now, after that, you can see the smiles on the faces of those children. So that has been my drive. Anytime I sit by, anytime I sleep, and I remember, wow, you've done this, and after doing this was the reaction on the faces of the people that benefited from what you've done. I felt, yeah, there is need for me to do more for my community. And I don't always feel, okay, I should always do it big. No, I feel, okay, let me do it small in my own community, at least for a start. If I can do it in my own community, I can do it even in a big way. So starting from my own community, that has always been the drive for me. And for the economical value of the trees, most of the trees, since they are fruit trees, they are very economical. For places of worship, they can harness the fruits of those trees for taking, and for schools, those trees can serve as a means of business for the schools also. Once they have plenty of mango trees, they could pluck from some of those trees, do practicals for students, sell them in the market, and solve one or two problems. So those are some of the economical values of some of these things. So thank you very much.
Thank you. If I may, I'd just like to explain a little bit more about the whole project and the kind of follow-up, but also about the donations. Dofa mentioned that he made a budget, because we said, you know, what kind of amount are you actually talking about? And he said he needed about $1,200. $1,200. And I said, that should be fairly doable, but people may want to actually not just donate money, but they may also want to donate materials. So what we've tried to do is to say, on the one hand, the donations can be money, and we have a platform where the donations can be made fairly quickly. I think Atom is going to put the link in the chat so that you can actually just look at the whole platform. It tells you all about Greening Taraba, what it's all about, but it also has the opportunity for you to make a financial donation. But I'd just like to mention that the donations, if you say, for example, I think Francoise is still here, she lives in Cameroon, and we saw on the map that Taraba is actually bordering Cameroon. And it's quite possible that Francoise says, but hang on, we have a load of pencils, or we have a load of books, or chairs, or blankets. In other words, they may be things which they can give as gifts. And so what we're going to try and do is, and this is partly because of what we, the English would say, we have a sort of swap shop idea. You have something, I have something. We all know about jumble sales or what have you. But what we're going to try and do is say, maybe that you have something that you don't actually need anymore. And if it's not too far away, I mean, I'm not saying that we're going to, but we will pay for the shipping costs. So if Francois says, hey, we have a load of carpets, because I understand, though, for part of this project is also for the children in schools. And in one of the other conversations we had, it was heartbreaking to hear that the children, and also, and we're not talking about little children, not kindergarten here, we're talking up to 18-year-olds, primary and secondary, and you're talking about young girls here as well, young girls and ladies, having to sit on the ground. They have no chairs. And I went, you must be joking. No, Dover said, no, we're not joking here. They have the schools, but they don't have the equipment. So part of this project is, it's a community project. So if Dover says, you know, really, we need some chairs. Does anybody have any materials or carpets, which would make life a little bit more pleasant, especially for the older girls and the boys as well. I think young children don't mind sitting on the floor, but I think it's when you get a bit older, you know, you'd like to have a chair and a table. So again, think of those things which you could donate as a gift. And if the shipping isn't too much, as I said, I know smartphones from America would be they would be absolutely grateful for smartphones from America, or power banks or whatever. But just think of it in real terms, and we from the Green Hub will pay for the shipping. So anybody who's got any, if Francois, if you have anything left over or that you say spare, get in touch with us, and we will then decide how we can actually do this in the most efficient way. So this is again trying to encourage people to think, how can you contribute? And it isn't always in dollars. Let's get away from this idea that it's about money. It's actually about dignity, not charity. How can we help each other in a dignified, respectful way? So this is part of what we're trying to encourage in our Green Hub, in our way of actually how we're tackling these problems. So if anybody has any questions about how to donate, please get in touch with us. We're always here for to answer questions. This is being recorded, so we'll make sure that also when the recording is released, that there will also be lots and lots of instructions as to how to get in touch with us. And it also means the follow-up is incredibly important, because so often we see things and it just kind of disappears into thin air. But no, we want to make this a community project. And as we've said, peace in action. I think the only way we can really achieve peace and harmony is when we act. So this is why I really, if you take anything away from International Day of Peace, is peace by action. So has anybody got any questions about the donations as such? Or is that clear? Yeah. Atom, have you put the link of the platform?
Yes, all links for donations for Greening Taraba, and also the general donations for the team, let's say for shipping or the administrative costs, are separately being put up.
Oh, excellent. Excellent.
Which is a very important point to raise, that everyone's got the opportunity to donate in their own currencies. Right now we have US dollars, British pounds, or also euros. Further currencies can be added if needed. It's not an issue, but we believe these major three currencies would be serving the purpose. Also, each link leads to a separate wallet, which means that we will be able to separate what was donated to the action team, what was actually donated to Taraba, and ideally, we will be able to utilize every single penny collected the best possible way.
Yeah, this is a pilot project, but we've already decided as well, but thinking a little bit ahead, we know that Francoise has a fantastic project in the waiting. She's waiting for us to help. But that will be another time. But we are thinking in terms of the Green Hub with Ryoma and with Shams, that we're trying to make this a really a platform where many young.
I like, but when a mother and father, I go deal with them.
Oh, that sounds like somebody's mother. Yeah, mothers are always welcome.
Fine.
Is Francois? Is that Francois speaking?
My love, Papa.
No, not me, not me.
Okay, Francois, would you like to just could somebody mute there? No, that was better. Francois, I'm going to ask you, as one of our team members, and you're also having a bit more experience about how we're working together on this Green Hub. Can you tell us a little bit more about what's happening in Cameroon, and introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, there's Francoise.
Yeah, my name is Nwabufo Francoise, and I'm from Cameroon. I am the founder of an organization called Family Health and Development Foundation that has been existing since about 12 years. And I basically am a midwife and a public health expert. And after working for several years, I decided to get back to the community to do a lot of community development actions and also work with the district in the community. So we do diverse activities, but mainly in the remote area. I give an example. I worked on a project on neonatal screening of sickle cell disease. And when I went back to the community, I realized that those in the community really find it difficult to get access to the hospitals. So one of the things I did was to train community health workers, and we do home visits for those patients that are sickle cell, and also we train the community health workers under the district in management and diagnosis of sickle cell disease. That's just one example of what we are doing. And if we go to education, we identify children in the community that really cannot pay fees, and we do basic literacy, and we realize that even their parents cannot read and write. So we do basic literacy for both the children and the parents, and we work with the school directly to pay fees for those that cannot afford. We have our agroecology project where we work with these families on how to do green farming, organic farming, and so that they can get some good vegetables that do not have chemicals that they can eat with their families. And we also seek for funds to give them cereals and other grains that they can eat, because there's a lot of malnutrition that causes a lot of dental caries. So that's just an example of some of the projects that we run in the community. There are quite a lot, and we are looking forward to, like Morgana was saying, to see how we can get a freeze dehydrator in our community. We may not need the money, but if you can give us a freeze dehydrator, it will help us in these fruits that are lingering around to prevent post-harvest waste, so we can transform it into fruits that children can eat all through the season. At any time during the season, we'll dry it and make sure they have it ready. It may be mango, it may be pineapple. We have them lots, maybe banana, and they are wasted in the city, they're wasted in the streets. They just fall, they don't know what to do with them. So we work with post-harvest loss also. Even these women that harvest their vegetables, if it is okra season, we see how to teach them to dry their okra so they can have it even in season that is very expensive. So that's the kind of thing we are doing. And another one, like I was telling Morgana, is to do our biodigester, whom she know very well. She said she had biodigester the first time from me, since we transform post-harvest waste. So we have a lot of waste. If we could get a biodigester, we could transform those waste into biogas and biofertilizer that the community will use to grow more food in a healthy way. I'll stop there for now. Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, as I said, this is an example of, hopefully, the projects from Francoise will be our next major project. But you can already see that how Francoise's work is also influencing Dofa's work, and the two countries happen to be fairly close together. But of course, we are operating also in Bangladesh, but also in the Netherlands. We're trying to be a global green hub and answer many of the questions, but sometimes we find actually our neighbors, they may be thousands of kilometers away, but actually they're on the doorstep. So this is why we're trying to encourage community, and of course having these Zoom meetings is really incredibly important. So we will be following up this particular project with more. We have our own Hive monthly meeting, of course, and we are looking at a new project. So people are involved in the environmental network can also help us to look at different projects, and we will be making sure that there are ways of applying for projects in a simple way, but effective way. So thanks again, Atom, for making a lot of these processes incredibly simplified, because sometimes these applications for grants or funding are really, really incredibly difficult. So that's what we're trying to do as a community as well, is to help each other to get over these hurdles of trying to get funds, trying to get gifts, but trying to really work as a community. So thanks again for all of you for listening. And of course, I do hope you will go to the donations page and have a look at the whole page. It's not just, of course, we would like the donations, but do have a look at what we're actually doing, because it's more important that you as a community are able to say, look what's happening. We can work together so easily. We don't need thousands of dollars to work together. The important thing that we come together, and as I said, peace in action, when we can work together and we can provide education, we can provide a chair for a girl to sit on, then our hearts go out. And some of these are so simple but so effective. So I'd like to close the meeting now, unless there are any more questions. Yes, Atom, you had the question. Sorry.
No, Morgan, first of all, thank you very much indeed for expressing your gratitude. But it isn't just me. Someone has actually already placed the first $20 donation.
Excellent.
I have sent you the details of the person because obviously due to their privacy and it's going on the internet, I'm not sharing it. But if you know the person or feel something to say about it, then please feel free to do so. The information is on your WhatsApp.
Thank you.
And thank you very much indeed.
Excellent. Thank you. As I say, we will be letting all of our donors know what's happening, and for all the projects, whether it's happening, whether we have projects in the Netherlands, what we're trying to do is just encourage people to every single piece of help, attention, but just involvement is just so important today. Peace in action. Let's keep that ball rolling and just come together. So many of us are really overwhelmed by many things, and I'm very grateful for a few people here. Carola, Margaret, if you're still here, we have incredible interfaith connections as well. So again, our spiritual, what I call spiritual resilience, is also extremely important. So on that happy note, I would just like to, it's getting very dark here. Just a minute. Let me put, that's a bit more light. So I would like now to close this meeting with a blessing for peace. As day and night stand in perfect balance, so too may peace find balance in our world. From the stillness of the turning time, let harmony ripple outward, from our hearts to our homes, from our homes to our communities, from our communities to all nations. May the light of understanding meet the darkness of fear with compassion. May justice walk hand in hand with mercy. May we remember that every life, every voice, every prayer for peace is part of the great weaving of the earth on this International Day of Peace. We bless the path of balance. We bless the dream of peace. And we bless the hope that guides us forward. Peace to all beings, peace to the earth, peace within, peace without, peace in action. So may it be. Remember, peace should not be an option. It should be the natural rhythm of a healthy human life. Thank you again, everybody. I will be closing the meeting now, but stay online because we will have an open forum where you can speak without the recording. So just stay online for a few more minutes so that we can have a little chat amongst ourselves. So thank you everybody again for attending and listening to Dofa's presentation. And again, thank you for your attention. Thank you.